Hello and welcome to the Magic Mirror Podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Con the Trinket Mage, and with me is my co-host, 33 Elk.
Hello.
Additionally, we have our other co-host, Salubrious Snail.
Hello.
I got confused because I was looking at you, but I needed to say your user. It was like, not Snail, but I'm literally staring at you.
Watch out for that.
So this podcast, we're going to be looking at our decks and kind of, roasting them and saying what we like, dislike about our commander decks. And also, we are doing it live. Live as in physically in person, not live. This is still pre-recorded.
We in theory don't have like an audience here, but we might at some point. We're just on the convention floor, so
Yes, we are recording this live at LDXP Tacoma.
Yeah.
It's like Friday at noon, so it's in theory one of the less populated times of the convention, but still.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear it a little bit in the background, but not too loudly. Sorry, audio listeners, there will be a visual element to this podcast. You can still enjoy it as an audio experience, but there will be video to accompany this deck reviewing.
People can see how jank this setup is.
It's so bad. Okay,
awesome.
Ignore my scarred hand. I had a drunken spill. We're gonna be.
Can we start with Cormela?
We can start with Cormela.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Because I have a bit for
Show me that mana value.
So yes, we have Cormela, Glamour Thief. This is my Grixis Big Spells deck. I'm very excited for Strixhaven. I don't know if you've seen the...
I'm hyped.
Yeah, the Strixhaven spoilers. It feels a little bit like Wizards of the Coast is printing cards just for me and this deck.
You have some unslaved cards hidden in there?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll take them out when we get to them.
Right,
I think there's one unsleeved card that I just shuffled in. Yeah, there we go. So Worst Fears is going to go back in soon. I take it out because my friend hates it. And I cannot be trusted with that card, but it's going to go back in for the convention because people at conventions aren't real people.
You can't just like cast it and then not commit a war crime. Like that's just not how it works.
So we have a bunch of like 3 mana value removal stuff. And then we have a bunch of big spells, especially like big like Haymaker, like board wipes or like...
Oh, I should say links to all of our decks will be in the description so
Yes.
you can follow along, which will probably be easier than whatever the hell I'm doing here.
Yeah, we also have a lot of burn cards like Keen Duelist that burn based on mana value. So I have Keen Duelist, Parker Lock, Vile Smasher the Fierce.
It might be easier for Yusuf to edit because he just puts the video.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't have to like put each card on screen.
Yeah, so we have all these mana value burn cards and then just huge mana value idiots that just like swap life totals or explode someone.
I love Fevered Suspicions.
I think the best way to do this is maybe just to highlight important cards. So we have the burn cards. These are some of the most important ones here. But we also have cards like Sublime Epiphany and Saw in Half that let you do Cormela loops, where you can make a token copy of Cormela, and then you do other modes, and then you get a death trigger from Cormela from the Legend rule, and you get the Sublime Epiphany back. Or Saw in Half lets you Saw it in half, and then you get the Saw in Half back and another card, because you have 2 Cormela death triggers.
Yeah. How many of those total do you have?
I only have Sublime Epiphany and Saw in Half. I didn't want looping to be like the major point of the deck.
Wait, does this also make tokens?
Yes, you can Rite of Replication Cormela technically, but typically it's always better to Rite of Replication like someone's Carnosaur, for instance, or whatever. This is another recent addition.
I like that card. Yeah.
Stern Lesson in Cormela is actually really good. You get to draw 2 cards and discard a card at instant speed, but you make a Power Stone token, which notably, it isn't you can cast artifacts with it. It is you can't cast non-artifact spells, so what you can do is activate Cormela using that ability. So on turn 4, you can play Cormela after Stern Lessening, and that lets you play her on curve while still holding up like a counter spell or something. Other additions are things like Fire Covenant that let me pay like all of my life total. Toxic Deluge lets me pay all of my life total. And those are for my favorite card in the deck, Profane Transfusion. Yes. So you go down to 1, and then you swap life totals with someone. Yeah. Fire Covenant's the best at doing that because it's instant speed.
Yeah.
The last little thing I want to highlight here that I absolutely love about this deck is Cruel Entertainment and Worst Fears, of course.
Yeah.
These 2 cards are super nice with Wishclaw Talisman. So what you do is you pay 1 mana into Wishclaw Talisman, you give it to an opponent, you tutor up Worst Fears, and then you Worst Fears that opponent, and then you use the Wishclaw Talisman to get something to ruin their life, like a Toxic Deluge to kill them or whatever, and you give it back to yourself, so you just get another tutor. And anyway, that's the gist of Cormela, right? It's just a bunch of big spells. I think the average mana value is like 4.5.
I have a question about Cruel Entertainment. Two questions, actually. Question 1 would be, how often are you targeting yourself as one of the? Do you usually target yourself
Always.
as one of the?
I've never
Okay.
target 2 other players, because here's the thing: if you target 2 players with Cruel Entertainment,
They just say,
let's
"Fuck
just
you
play
up."
your turns normally,
Right.
And then you just wasted 7 mana for nothing.
Question 2. Have you ever been toxic deluged by another person who drew
Yes.
into it on your turn?
Okay. So what has happened once? She didn't end up casting it. I was playing against Rachel Weeks. Remember, you were in that game. She drew Toxic Deluge, and then was just like, I can't do it. I need to do this other thing to answer you. Because you were doing something scary over there, and the Toxic Deluge just wasn't the right answer for it.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing Rana, so like nothing is the right answer exactly, other than just smashing me with creatures.
I actually have an upgrade for your deck. All right here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I have a.
Oh, it's the ugly art of Cormela. Oh, my
Yeah, in
goodness. No, this
Japanese.
is beautiful.
I kind of like that art. I don't know.
Oh, no, she's like a giraffe neck.
Yeah, she is.
No, but this is like way more. Great. That's so sick. Thank you so much.
It's stylized. You kind of.
Oh,
put aside
I
the
actually
traditional
love it,
laws
though.
of anatomy.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap out my Cormela printing now. Thank you. Great. Do you have any comments about this deck, Con?
I actually want to disagree about Cruel Entertainment. I have used this in my SIG deck, and I've targeted 2 players. But you have to do it on like one player who's like way ahead, and one player's way behind, and it's like, hey, buddy, you gonna get this guy to use all of his 15 mana on himself or whatever, you know?
So that sounds like you're saying you need to use this in a bad deck that's never ahead. Where there will always be an opponent who is ahead.
Yeah, that was my SIG deck. It was a bad deck that was always behind and lost frequently.
Because this deck seems like a committer of many crimes. So like people are always going to be kind of.
I feel like people are going to be against you when you play this deck. So
Oh, this
I
deck's
understand
evil.
why in your deck you're using it.
Yeah, no. For me, it's like there's only 4 bad draws with Cruel Entertainment. It's the ones that just instantly kill me. But anything else, like, it doesn't ruin my life.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, ruin me. Like, even if I lose Cormela forever, I don't really care by the time Cruel Entertaintment's been cast.
I feel like a 25% chance to instantly die is not.
Well,
not 25,
there's 4, yeah.
I can't do math. 1 in 25.
Yeah.
Usually, DH, if your combo can't blow you up on your own turn, is it really, you know?
Yeah. There's other things I can talk about, like how Ashling Rekindled, I literally couldn't have designed a better card for this deck.
Yeah, this card's really sweet.
I run like the big like discard these, make a treasure token for 2 spells. Cursed Recording's one of the best cards in the deck, for instance. I have a whole video if people are more interested about this deck, but we got to get a move on through the rest of these.
We do.
Oh, you like Magic? Start gathering, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also considering adding Delirium. Cast only during an opponent's turn. Tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature deals damage equal to its power to its controller.
That is funny.
It's such a. This used to be like a Merit Lage like blowout card in Legacy. So
Oh.
someone would make a Merit Lage and you just like tap the Merit Lage and blow them up with it.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, Yusef. All right.
So we can sync it again.
No, just so like he knows where to cut it.
I like to imagine you're trying to catch Yusuf's attention.
He's a small
Yusef,
slave.
Kind of been there,
here, boy. No, I treat our editor at least okay.
Yusuf, quick, put a JPEG on screen.
We have Ayli Eternal Pilgrim. So this is a deck that is entirely spawned by my love of Villas, Broker of Blood, and Valgavoth. So we have Valgavoth, Avacyn, Mr. Negative as reanimation targets. We have Reanimate here, Resolute Archangel. So it's Life Total Manipulation Reanimator is the gist here. So
Can we do a quick idea of what Ayli does? I remember most of it.
Ayli is a 2-mana Death Toucher. That's all I really use her for in my deck.
Oh.
She blocks so I don't get killed.
I see.
And then also, but she does have a very useful mode here. 1, sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. That mode's actually very useful for when someone wants to exile my thing, and so I sack it and put it back in my graveyard. And I also gain the life back. So here, this is the main combo that the deck is built around. We have Reanimate and Villas, Broker of Blood. Reanimate can reanimate Villas, and because you do the card in order, you put it into play and then you lose life equal to its mana value, so you'll draw 8 cards when Villas comes back into play. So what that means is you will draw 8 cards immediately after reanimating Villas. Now, where this gets hilarious, my definition of hilarious, not like an average definition of hilarious, is where you have something like, I don't know, maybe like a Children of Corliss to regain that life back. You have
I love
Ayli.
this card. This is like one of my favorite hidden commanders.
Yeah, it's
where
so
you
good.
just like, pay a ton of life into a deluge and then like get it all back, do some shenanigans. This card is so sweet. I have built some weird decks around this before.
It also gets really funny with Shieldred.
Are you running Tainted Sigil as well?
I'm
Yeah, I was gonna say.
not running Tainted Sigil, and it's just because there's just so many ways to tutor Children of Corliss now.
Okay.
Like I run Starfield Shepherd, Ranger,
Yeah,
Captain of
yeah.
Eos,
No, that
right,
makes
to
sense.
tutor up the Children of Corliss.
What if you added a rebel package? You can play that lady that tutors rebels.
Lincivi or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so here
I have friends
comes
do that.
here comes the heat. It's Enduring Angel.
Okay.
This
What?
card's awful.
Is this bulk mythic?
It is a flying double striker. You have hexproof. If your life total would be reduced to 0 or less, you transform it, and your life total becomes 3. And then if it doesn't transform, you lose the game.
Taking out the sleep for me.
Yes, it goes ahead and flips into Angelic Enforcer. Flying, you have hexproof. Angelic's power and toughness are each equal to your life total. Whenever it attacks, double your life total. So
Oh.
I have in this deck a ton of cards that are like pay any amount of life. And I don't like to run the bad ones, like the classic one's Wall of Blood, for instance. You can just pay 1 life to give it +1/+1 or whatever. I run Plunge into Darkness, which is like you can use it as an impulse, right? It cycles. But you can pay all of your life into Plunge, and then you're at 0. Angelic Enforcer flips. I also have Toxic
And then
Deluge.
you Children after that, and then
Yeah.
you double to like 80 or whatever.
Yeah, then you Children or Resolute Archangel reanimate to set your life total to 40. You attack with this, your life total becomes 80.
Yeah.
And then that kills an opponent as well.
Is this an exile and return card?
This is not an exile and
Not an
return card.
exile.
It just
Just
transforms.
transforms, yeah, so you can attack.
Yeah, so
That's
Okay,
good.
okay.
yeah,
that's
the
pretty sweet.
Toxic
I'm
Deluge
noticing a
gets
theme here with your decks.
Oh yeah, no, it's just hilarious all the way around. My definition of hilarious.
Do you have a
once again.
third deck that also does this, where you pay your life down to 1? And then
Oh
swap
no,
it?
I just love swapping life totals. We also have, of course, the bangers like Sorin and Vito. Secret banger in the deck, by the way. Pact Weapon.
Pact Weapon's funny.
This is a huge mana value deck where I want to pay tons of life. I have life linkers to equip it to, like Valgavoth. Valgavoth gets like +X/+0, and then I lose that life, and then I gain it back again when he hits you because he has life link. And then we have a little bit of a flicker theme throughout as well, but that's just because it's an elk deck. What I love about this deck so much is that like it incentivizes using really weird cards. Not just like inherently good ones, like Phyrexian Delver, for instance, is an okay card. But the fact that it makes me lose life is insanely good. And then also there's a really bad reanimate from Dominaria called Shieldred's Restoration. That card sucks, and it's actually insane in this deck though.
Ooh, what is that?
Return
Is that a
target
kicker?
creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the spell was kicked, you gain life equal to that card's mana value. Otherwise, you lose that much life, and then you exile Shieldred's Reclamation. So that's the gist of this deck. Is it's mostly just like reanimating big stuff, paying life, and gaining that life back, or swapping life totals with Mr. Negative, because I love swapping life totals more than anything.
So my question is, do you worry that this deck is competing with your Cormela deck in some way? Like you're gonna get sick of this because you have the same thing already, or is
So-
this different enough?
So yeah, Cormela, the thing is with Cormela is the only life total swapping I have is Profane Transfusion, and I don't tutor for it. This deck is more creature focused and has a reanimator flare. It still does life swapping, yeah, but it does it in a very different way. This deck also has different like combo lines to it. Like you can Buried Alive for Shieldred, Elish Norn, the doubler Elish Norn that doubles ETBs, and you also get Mr. Negative. And what you do is you bring them all back with a mass reanimate card like Command the Dreadhorde, which triple reanimates. So you can bring all 3 of those back, and then your life total is really low. You swap it with an opponent. Elish Norn makes you swap back. Mr. Negative draws you cards equal to the difference, and then you gain life equal to the amount of life, or you gain life equal to that times 2 because of Shieldred.
Right.
I don't know how much that came through because there's an announcement happening, but basically it's a very funny life swapping deck that I love playing so much.
I'm not gonna say anything about this deck.
Yeah.
I think you should swap the commander.
What to what?
Have you played that one? It's like a 5-mana 4/4 tap, pay 7 life, destroy an online permanent.
Okay, yeah. Vona. I have a Voner for that card. No. So Vona, Butcher of whatever. I did consider it actually. But the thing with Vona is that like I'm already doing a lot with 5+ mana, whereas I'm not doing a lot on 2. So what I like with Ayli is that she comes down. She's a 2-mana Death Toucher. And then she's a stack outlet to protect my reanimation threats because I want my reanimator threats in the graveyard.
Yeah, you don't want to be exiled.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I chose Ayli over Vona, but Vona was a consideration for a little while.
See, I had my life swapping deck back in the day in Camel Council of Allocation, and that made sense there because it was like kind of a hybrid control deck. And like, if you can just gain a bunch of life, then like force your opponent to play extra on board, then board wipe it. It just all kind of works out. Here, this seems kind of a little more dedicated to this specific game plan, like kind of a combo-y thing. So.
Yeah. Well, there's also just some games where I go like, okay, I've reanimated Avacyn, I'm now beating you to death, right? It doesn't always go life swappy,
right?
But the fact that it has like this reanimator big creature cheating plan is just something I absolutely love.
Yeah.
All right, we have my final deck here. This is the newest list in my collection. This is Trostani 3 Whispers.
This is a $25 budget deck, right?
This is a $25 budget deck, yes.
I like this commander. I actually kind of want to build it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so this is a very political deck.
Right, because you give your opponent stuff Death Touch as well, right?
You can target any of these at your opponent. So it's a 3-mana 4/4 creature. You can give a creature Death Touch until end of turn. You can give a creature Vigilance until end of turn, or you can give a creature Double Strike until end of turn. And all of those cost 1, 2, and 3 mana respectively.
I like the idea of giving an opponent's creature Death Touch. Like, you make a deal with them,
yeah.
Then you make a deal with the person blocking, and give them Double Strike to block the Death Toucher.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like you can't make 2 deals in the same turn. that violates some sort of law.
Okay, so the core of this list is built entirely, of course, around Innocuous Researcher.
Right, everyone's favorite Magic card, which I'm going to have to read here.
Absolutely.
It has Parlay. Whenever it attacks, each player reveals top card of the library for each non-land card. Revealed this way, you investigate, and then each player draws a card.
That part sucks. The rest of it, the card is good.
Oh, okay. At the beginning of your end step, you may untap all lands you control. If you do, I see. You can't cast spells until your next turn, but you can activate abilities.
Yes, so like Trostani.
Cool.
So this is tech I picked up from Farrakha, where it's really funny in Farrakha to like untap all your lands and just give people snakes.
Yeah.
We of course also have Wilderness Reclamation, the better version of this effect.
Yes.
And you know, for all those people who say that tutors are expensive, Traverse the Uvenwald is literally like a 10-cent card for some godly reason. Then we also have Moonblessed Cleric.
Yeah.
As well, to go ahead and grab the Wilderness Reclamation. That one's very cheap as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have Analyze the Pollen, hooray. And we have a couple like mill cards like Malevolent Rumble and stuff as glue to keep everything together. Just very high floor cards that help keep everything together.
Yep.
So now, the funny part about this is I was looking for protection spells for Trostani that I could still hold up through the Innocuous Researcher Silence, where you can't cast spells.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And where I ended up was I grabbed the card Touch the Spirit Realm, which you can channel to exile something until end of turn, and then you get to return it to the battlefield at the end step, right?
Oh, that card's sweet.
Yeah, and then you can also just cast it as an Oblivion Ring.
Yeah.
To exile an artifact or enchantment. Right there it is. So it has that channel ability, which is not casting a spell.
Creature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can exile an artifact or creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. But then I realized, you can also cycle through Innocuous Researcher. So I have Astral Drift, I don't have Astral Slide, and that's not because of budget reasons, that's just entirely because I like the higher floor of Astral Drift, and if I really need it, I can tutor it with Moonblessed Cleric.
So
the joke is you tutor it with Moonblessed Cleric, and then you play it, and then now you can flicker Moonblessed Cleric to get real Wilderness Reclamation.
Right.
And then you can also get all sorts of other enchantments that are in this deck. Without sacrificing card quality too bad, I am running like a bunch of land cyclers and normal cyclers. Just cyclers on removal spells and fogs and stuff. I have about 20 cycling cards, which isn't a lot, but it's enough where if I draw the package, I can cycle it a couple times. Moving on to more tutors, we have Starfield Shepherd.
Okay.
What do you get with Starfield Shepherd? Well, if you need Delirium for your Traverse the Uvenwald, you can get a Haywire Might, which also answers permanence. It's an artifact creature, so that helps you get Delirium. You also have a couple dorks, of course, like mana dorks. But my favorite little guy in here is Topplegeist. I can't find it at the moment, but so Topplegeist is a Delirium creature. When it enters, you tap a creature an opponent controls. And then you can also, each opponent's upkeep, tap a creature they control if you have Delirium. So
it's only 1 mana, damn. That's
so you can get this with Starfield Shepherd, and everyone hates you. It's so beautiful. Also, I have Nyxborn Hydra in the deck, which lets you aura enchant Trostani off of your Starfield Shepherd. And that's typically how you'll close out games sometimes. You can give Trostani Double Strike and Death Touch after putting a giant Nyxborn Hydra on her, and then kill someone with a Double Striking.
I was gonna ask what your main win cons were.
Yeah, so that's one of them. The last win con is you can go like Lull plus Eternal Witness plus like a Flicker spell.
Just Turbo Fog.
Yeah, you can Turbo Fog very hard, and actually Turbo Fog is very much helped in this deck by Selfless Squire, which is the other major win con here, which is where you can give your opponent's creature Double Strike when they attack you at the end of the game when it's a 1v1, and then you Selfless Squire, and then you get double the counters on the Selfless Squire,
yeah.
and then you crack back with a giant Selfless Squire.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, this is just like a big Selesnya politics goad deck with like some graveyard mills, graveyard recursion shenanigans. I've really been liking how this deck has been going so far.
Is Bright Glass Gearhulk just out of budget?
Oh, it's super out of budget. Yeah, that's like a $6 card.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of this stuff is like, I think the most expensive card I run is Cutsil, and I don't even think that's really necessary, and that card's like $2.
Yeah.
But it's just because I hate counter spells and less because it's like needed.
Yeah. That's fair.
Do you usually find yourself with enough value? Do you have enough draw in those colors?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I've not run out of draw at all. I think if I ended up actually having trouble with draw, there's actually plenty of options.
Okay.
I already run Trash the Town, which is a spree card that lets you target Trostani, and then when she hits, you draw 2 cards, but then you give her double strike. Now you draw 4 cards.
Yeah,
and then
that works.
And then there's Hunter's Insight is another card that
Yep.
I could run if I'm deciding I need more card draw. But right now the card draw feels perfectly fine in this deck.
Great.
But yeah, those are my 3 lists.
I like this deck a lot because I've been wanting to build a Selesnya deck for a while because
Yeah.
Selesnya is my least favorite color combination. And this commander like really spoke to me, and I was really thinking about
It whispered to you
something
even.
It whispered to me, yes. I was really thinking about like doing some like political sort of activated ability leaning type stuff. I like the cycling route though that you went though. That's really fun.
Yeah, it was partly because it's really cool and also works through Innocuous Researcher, but also partially because of the budget. It actually keeps your deck really cheap because a lot of the cycling cards are very
Yeah.
low cost. I think the most expensive one I run is like the Trample Granter. When you
Okay.
cycle, the big one from Ikoria, and that one's like 20 cents.
Yeah. No, that works. And I like that the incentives kind of line up on that you're looking for lots of abilities on opponents' turns.
I am curious how you guys would rank my decks. What's 1, 2, and 3 for you guys?
I'd probably go 1 this, 2 Cormela, 3 Ayli.
I think I would swap Cormela in this. I think Cormela is something that I would build. I love bad control decks full of expensive cards, so that's like 1 for me. I like Trostani, and then Ayli is just kind of that one's
Ayli's for me.
It's
Ayli's for
you,
me. Okay, great. Who wants to go next then?
You want to go?
Do you want to like rock, paper, scissors for it?
I can go next.
All right, Snail, take the floor.
So first deck I'm going to talk about is my Glysa Herald of Predation deck.
You made a whole video on this.
I did. Yes. Nobody watched it. I think it's the least viewed video on my channel. But yes, I did make a video on it. This is my Bracket 2 deck. This is a deck that just has way too many sub-themes. That was just kind of my idea going in, what I wanted for it. So the basic idea is proliferate and artifact tokens. So there's like Plain-Wide Celebration that just gives you a bunch of proliferates. That's good with artifact tokens.
Make sure you get this on camera with how Alex slams cards down on the table and how they all have this signature like bend up in the corner with how he like flicks them onto the table.
Yeah, you would not make it through a tournament with like this. People would be like, "This card's marked, buddy."
No,
Yeah.
but they're all marked like this because he slams
They're all
them all
identical.
down like that, like from the corner. It's the most violent thing I've ever seen. Sorry, continue.
He hates magic cards.
I do. I despise them. They need to be put in their place. Okay, but yeah, so I got proliferate, I got artifact token stuff. Lux Cannon is another thing that works with proliferate because, you tap it, you get some stuff on it, you proliferate, get more counters on it, and then, it also has a tap ability. So what if you ran tap untap as well? That surely is the ideal thing to do with this deck. Clock of Omens is a key card in this deck because artifact tokens are great with Clock of Omens. I have this constant source of artifact tokens, and then I can use it to power up my Lux Cannon or my Empowered Auto Generator or...
Oh, I need a copy of this.
That
bad
card's
boy.
so good.
I
It's
need a
legitimately
copy of this bad
broken,
boy.
especially with untapping. Oh my god!
This deck technically has an infinite combo in it.
How many cards?
In bracket 2, how could you?
The infinite combo is I play Nexus of Becoming, I use Nexus of Becoming to make a token copy of Empowered Auto Generator.
Okay.
That is a creature, and then take construct.
Oh, now this is a classic combo card.
Once this is a creature, you can pay 2 mana to untap it with Voltaic Construct, and then this will go infinite colored mana.
You can do the same with just Gilded Lotus too.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You could do it with Gildos as well. I think it's still pretty funny.
You still
'cause
have to animate the
you have to turn it into a
Gildos.
creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have Karn Silver Golem, like this is a classic combo piece with Karn Silver Golem because you just turn a thing into a creature, and then what do you do with infinite mana from here?
Not a whole lot.
Nothing.
I say it has an infinite combo in it. That wasn't intentional particularly. It was just like, oh, that's kind of funny.
I guess if you also turned Lux Cannon
Yeah.
into a creature, then you could infinitely destroy all permanents because you get
You
infinite
could,
mana
yes.
and then infinitely tap.
In theory, there are definitely times where you're going to be able to do a ton of stuff with the infinite mana. There will also be other times where you are not, decidedly. Something you may notice here is the Nexus of Becoming makes creature tokens, which you can populate.
Okay.
So that's another sub-theme here.
Okay, so we can populate our Lux Cannon creature
We can
tokens.
populate our Lux Cannon creature tokens and then proliferate them. And then, yeah, you're going places.
Yeah, the dumpster, I guess. Like this is.
No, this deck slaps. This deck slaps.
This is why it's a bracket 2 deck.
Yeah, this is like peak EDH for me when you play really like objectively broken Magic cards. Like Clockwork
I know,
is
it's
objectively
disgusting.
An
Yeah.
overpowered, broken, crazy
This
card.
card's pretty good too.
And there's no way that this deck is unfair because it takes 19 steps to do anything.
Yeah, no, one Vandal Blast and you're just like
Oh, I'm
exploding.
One disenchant.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, this deck is my bracket 2 deck. It is technically one I played on camera for extra turns.
Yeah, you brought this to the command zone.
Got a little
crushed.
destroyed. That's okay.
Spoilers.
Hello. Card signing break.
Card signing break. We're doing the podcast right now. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Hello. I was the one Tuesday who asked about card signing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 82% Cyan, which then snowballed in you learning about ice.
Yeah.
I got a Splendor Main for you. That's the only 3/3 elk I got.
No, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That is.
I used to run it in an Avacyn deck to give her lifelink, the flip Avacyn.
Oh.
And then someone told me that Piru the Volatile was just a better commander, and then I didn't like the deck anymore, and I took it apart.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Snail.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
And then the only Trinket Mage I found.
Oh, this is a good Trinket Mage though. Look at that.
I
That's
personally
clean.
like the original art, but like, yeah, they're both good arts.
I kind of like that his flashlight is just like a lamp with like no handle. It doesn't make any sense.
Did you guys have any more thoughts about this bracket 2 trash fire?
This deck is awesome.
It reminds me a lot of this deck, which we'll get to.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
I like all the horrific sub themes. I for one am allergic to building any deck with a card that has even like a minor low floor, like a 4-mana 2/2.
Oh, the floor is so low.
The floor is abysmally low, and I would never be caught dead building one of those. But I'm very happy that it appeals to certain people.
I'm typically the same. I'm okay with it here because the commander just always feels kind of good. Like the floor on that is just so high. Just getting guys every turn that you can flip over later is just solid.
I would rather eat my commander deck than have a dead top deck.
I see.
That's the gist.
This is understandable. Okay, so that's that deck.
Or plays lands though.
Well, as few as I can.
Next up, we are going to get a rework of a previous deck. Technically, you guys looked at this back in the day, but I have since swapped out the commander for Breina, played it with like that for like a year, decided I should swap back to Glysa, put in a bunch more aggro cards, and then...
Can we get a nice view of the crease across this Breina here?
Oh, yeah.
There's a beautiful crease on this card.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Man, this is crusty. I can feel that.
Okay.
Well, peak Magic design.
Yes,
right
Haunted Horrors.
Haunted Horror's
Insane.
so funny.
there? That's one of my favorite cards.
Let's kill this guy.
See, the thing is, this deck isn't actually scary late game. So if there's somebody else who's like playing some dumb late game scaling deck, I can be like, hey, look at that bitch over there. Let's get him. And then if the person will often agree, and I get to swing at somebody with 13 power on turn 3 or whatever.
And you also made a video about this recently.
Very recently, yeah.
Just plugging your channel here.
Oh, yeah. I need it. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. How else are you going to beat me to 100k subs?
Right? That's I'm dying out here. I've added a bunch more kind of aggro sort of slug material. I am not 100% sure about these 5-minute enchantments, but they are in
Oh,
for
they
now.
suck.
No. This one sucks. I'm going to say, I think Painful Conjure's actually heat. It does a lot of damage.
I guess, but then I swap life totals with you, and it doesn't matter.
Well, if you're not playing life total swapping, it's...
Why would I ever do that?
Oh, my bad.
I got Guy McCready there.
Oh.
We got a Keen Duelist there.
Yes.
So what is this? What am I looking at here?
This is a solid card that I just found, and I am fine enough with a Universes Beyond card if it's gonna do that.
It does have a good ability. I mean, for 2 mana, it's actually quite aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, right? It's just like a very good drain thing. It's just basically an extra Elias that only applies to non-creature spells, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For 2 mana, I'll take it.
Also, McCready, love this one. It's like good little pillow fort. It lets your little dinguses attack in.
Right. I have a couple just more expensive, like, kind of aggro-y cards that I threw in.
Barragoyf Legacy Staple.
It's so good.
This card is like $8 now.
Much more than that.
Oh, has it increased even more?
It's been going up
it's,
and
it's,
up.
It's like 15 or something, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was
this
like
stuff-
I want to say it was like 9 or something, 9 or 10 when I bought it, and it's kept.
I
creeping
bought
up
it at
since then.
4.
Yeah, it's kept going up.
Yeah, it's played in Legacy a lot. Very good mill engine. I have it one in Farrakhan now.
An expensive enchantment that's not as bad as some of the others.
I do like Wound Reflections.
Wound Reflections?
It's a classic.
Wound Reflections tasty. It's especially tasty if I play it into a Deadly Tempest and just murder everybody.
Okay.
This card is kind of bad, but it's going to stay in the deck until I kill somebody with it. That is my promise to myself. And I have not killed somebody with the Deadly Tempest yet.
Well, we'll play some Commander today. And
True.
Hopefully, I'll die.
There we go. I've also added this as a kind of draw tool.
Yeah, some of the players, I like it.
I do too. It's a nice card. I used to have Luris in the deck a while back, and in this sort of deck, I think this is just way better. I'm not trying to loop any of my creatures. I just got some guys. They want to be on the board for a little while. This kind of does
Have you
its thing.
considered both?
Luris is just not that good here. It's just kind of mediocre.
It lets you recur Hunted Horror.
That is true. That is true.
I'm trying to think about what I would run instead of Assemble the Players, though, and I really just can't think of anything.
Yeah,
Phyrexian Arena?
if
Not Phyrexian
If you
Arena.
got more 2-drop value engines, please give them to me. I've definitely scraped the available cards pretty hard. This has felt decent a couple times. Maybe I'll have some games where it feels like ass, but so far this has felt pretty solid.
I
Just
imagine you already have like Welcoming Vampire.
Yeah,
Are you playing Teysa Opulent Oligarch?
I'm not.
That one
I
is
could add
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah.
So I don't have it with me
That's-
because I'm still...
This one that cares
tuning
about
it, but-
tokens, right?
No, it's if for each opponent that lost life, you make a clue.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I kind of like it as like card event. It's currently my bracket 4 list that we're not talking about in this video, but I think it's a very sweet and aggressive deck. You get a lot of extra clues and you can just crack them, go draw some cards.
Yeah, right. No, that makes sense.
It does something else I forgot.
I might look at it. That does seem potentially sweet. I'm not running currently Tokasia's Welcome. I feel like that's kind of
Oh, we just got Parker Luck, by the way, in Spider-Man.
that one's so fucking Spider-Man, dude.
I know,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand. I have printed like proxy versions of them that are the Omen Path versions of the card.
Look, this one I can tolerate. I can tolerate that level of Universes Beyond.
But Spider-Man,
Parker,
yeah, no.
Parker Lux makes me want to die.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so Spider-Man. I love the design of the card, but like it's too much. But yeah, that's this deck. I've tried to make it more aggro-y. I think it definitely feels better than any previous iteration of it has. Whether I make major changes to it from here, I am not sure, but yeah, it's kind of fun. Athreos has been kind of fun to have around.
Yeah.
I like this in aggro decks, especially because like he kind of becomes just a 5/4
It's
beat
just a beater. It's a good
'cause
beater.
You got 3 devotion here.
Right, exactly.
So this already gets you to 5.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
need 7, right? It's so easy to turn them on.
I love Orzhov. I love Hate Bears. For some reason, like, okay, this deck feels like Snails. This one's just for me. You know what I mean? Where it's just like,
It might be. This isn't even like my number one playstyle. I've just been dying to have like an actual like drain them out, make them sad.
to be clear, I don't hate Laesa. I'm just a horrible hipster, and too many people play her.
But
for
I
me to
don't
be
play
interested.
Liesa life gain. I'm not even playing the same commander as other people because I don't run life gain. I'm different. I'm cool. Come on.
Heliod could be in this deck because like Heliod gives your whole team vigilance, which is actually pretty
that
sweet.
Heliod.
Bad Heliod.
Yeah,
Ooh, that card's
and
not
he's
very good.
very easy. It's easy to hit the devotion, make him a 5/6, just like indestructible beater.
I think if you're making use of the ability, like if you could use like a mana sink, I think it's pretty solid. This deck doesn't really need a mana sink. It's running enough draw. It's not running that much ramp.
Okay.
And, like it's just for the vigilance, and I probably don't even hit. I'll hit the devotion sometimes for sure, but I think Athreos is much better. It's just like a god with devotion and like a
You'll
decent,
hit the devotion because for the monocolor ones you only need 5.
right. Yeah.
So this is like 2 and then 3.
yeah.
It's
Erebos,
super easy.
Erebos would be very unlikely. This white Heliod's definitely possible.
It's a 4 mana 5/6 indestructible. That's a beater. He doesn't give himself vigilance, which sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
If he did, it'd be a lot better.
Right.
I just hate Painful Quandary so much because imagine your opponent has Villas and Shieldred in play.
That's because you play a deck with Villas and Shieldred.
No.
That doesn't happen most of the time.
No, every single time I play Commander, all 3 of my opponents have Villas and Shieldred in play.
Both of these are on notice, to be clear. These definitely might end up getting cut.
That would kill everyone, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're in for now. I haven't actually had a game where I had either of these out for a substantial period of time. So I want to get some more games in with this, see how they're feeling.
Yeah, a fun one. If only Schmeagol didn't have like an ugly border, that card's so cool. But it's also a life gain card. That actually doesn't count. You can't.
Yeah.
We can't do vetoes or anything like that.
No veto.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I was like, nah, I'm a hipster. I can't.
Yeah.
But that's this deck. It is an updated. It's doing its thing. It's fine. All right, should I move on to my last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Final deck. Skanos and Hardy Outlander. So Skanos, when he attacks, gives +X in return, where X is the greatest power among other dragons you control or dragon cards in your graveyard. And then Hardy Outlander is a card that gives Skanos the ability, whenever the creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, another creature you control gets +X until end of turn, where X is your commander's power. So what happens is I have a dragon out, I have this out, I have Skanos out, I attack with Skanos and a dragon. Skanos gets +5/+5 until end of turn, becomes a 9/9. I order it so that our Hardy Outlander gives Steel Hellkite +9/+9. So this becomes a 23 in the air swing off of 2 creatures. That's just the basic idea of the
Wait,
deck.
does it fly?
No.
That one's 14 in the air. This one's
Yeah.
9 on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So that's the basic idea of this. Is just the command zone offers significant beats. Beyond that, so this deck's running kind of a fair amount of just random dragons. It's just the main thing. So Foe Razor Regent's nice, has a little bit of removal on it. Dreadlinorm is like a little bit of protection. Kura is just a sweet card in general.
I love Kura.
Not running any fancy lands, really. Not really. but-
Terrible.
I know. I'm not making full Kura use out of here.
He's getting 3 basic fours.
You got to run Merit Lage with this
Yeah.
stupid card here.
Right? Earthquake Dragon. This one's like the biggest dragon, so that you can hit pretty hard with. Outside of that, there is also a lot of Power Matters stuff in here. So we've got Rishkar's Expertise, we've got Greater Good, a whole bunch of just draw equal to type ones. Skullspore Nexus is like kind of a protection. It's almost like an Ozolithy effect. Not
Yeah.
really.
If
but
you have a big power creature, it replaces it with the same
yeah,
size.
it's board-wide protection in some sense. So a lot of it is just Power Matters. Some of it is cards that care about the power of the creature specifically. So like I can have Skanos pump up like a creature like Clear Cutter and then tap for a whole bunch of mana. And then if I'm also drawing a whole bunch of cards, then I'm getting both resources, a whole bunch of them. And then more things like County of Whispered Hopes. And then the way I'm winning is just hitting people really hard. And there are a couple things that are really useful for that, such as Wild Beastmaster. That's kind of the strongest one because it gives, whenever it attacks, it gives each other creature you control +X until end of turn, where X is its power. So you just order it so that it gets a massive Skanos buff and then gives everything else a massive buff, and you swing wide. So that's basically this deck. It is not crazy resilient. It's a mono green dragon deck, but that's kind of what it's doing.
Your resilience is in your card draw, right? If you resolve one of your Power Matters spells.
If I can get a card draw off, if I can get, Traverse the Ulvenwald off with a massive dragon in play, this deck can kind of go bananas.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
I love you, Traverse the Ubenwald, by the way.
Resilience. If you have Greater Good and draw like 50 cards, they can't have enough removal to beat that.
Right, yeah. And so if I'm able to get going, typically some big things can happen. If people are like shutting down my board right from the start, a lot of times I just don't really do anything.
Can I show you a card I run in my 2-headed Giant Cube that I really recommend for this deck?
Yeah.
No, not on this podcast.
It's Ovia Automech Artisan. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample, so it's a trample enabler, but it's also a piper. So if you can green tap it to put a giant dragon into play off of this 4-mana play, so it comes down before Skanos, after this in the curve, and then if you manage to get it to another turn, you can cheat in a big dragon. And then it also gives, of course, Skanos trample. All at the same time.
My issue with that is I feel like I might run out of cards because this is like an extra card purely for like tempo, like boosting me out fast. This is effectively a ritual.
I suppose so, yeah. I think the main thing that interests me about it is the fact that it is a piper, like a ritual, but it also gives trample.
Trample is relevant for sure, because Skanos having trample definitely becomes pretty relevant. A big flying dragon getting trample is also relevant if an opponent has like a spirit token or something. So definitely that could be relevant. I will think about that further. This is Traverse the Oval Walls. Just finds you a billion lands if you have a big creature to play.
Because I imagine you already have like Garrick's Uprising.
Yeah.
I feel like you just want more of these card draw effects, right? Like this is your, resolving one of these is actually how you win.
Yeah, I'm running a decent. I'm running a decent number. I can see the total count.
I guess those last
I'm
March of the
separating card
Ends. Are you
draws
running
right
last
here.
March of the Ends?
No. I'm not running most cards that are more expensive. I have like a couple dragons that are pricey, and that's it. I don't actually know how much Last March costs.
Iconic,
no idea.
I
iconic.
think it's like $10 or something.
This is like one of my favorite things to ever put in a green deck is Shigeki Grapple.
Yep.
This is a wombo right here. So you have Shigeki that can return X cards from your graveyard, non-legendary cards, and then you have Grapple, which is an instant that gets a creature back from your graveyard. So these are both really good at powering up Traverse the Uvenwald because they both mill.
Right.
And then also on top of that, they can create a value loop together. And then they're also just very high floor cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really like Realm Walker. I don't know how many dragons you're running though.
Also, I meant Traverse the Outlands, not Traverse the Overworld.
Oh no, terrible!
Oh.
You've ruined me.
I might be running that one as well because I'm running some, I think, 1 mana things.
This is a very beautiful Fauna Shaman, by the way. I really like that.
So I was just looking
Alright.
at your dragon sleeves for the
Yeah.
dragon.
Get yourself some Dragonsteel dragon sleeves, folks.
I feel like Realm Walker is fine because it is at least a dragon.
Yeah, no, and I'm running. I used to be running worst dragons. The worst dragons in this deck are kind of bad.
Ew, Myriad Landscape. Sorry.
That's good.
Pavlovian response to seeing Myriad
I don't know.
Landscape.
In green, I feel like Myriad Landscape's kind of.
I can hold up protection. It's felt pretty good most games I've had it.
I like all the adventure dragons you're running that are super bad because you're in green.
Yeah.
Do you have a Gnawbone?
No, that was the one green dragon I did not buy because of price.
Yeah.
I might still get it at some point because I don't really care about keeping this
This is
budget.
all powers matter draw here as well. Well, not this one, but these three are like
Yeah.
more greater goods. So you have like 9 of them in the deck.
I have a fair number. Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like at a certain point I need to stop. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm at like
Stop
10 or
drawing
11.
cards. What are you talking about?
Well, draw is great. I might even try and cram more draw in here, but the specifically the super big.
You know
draw.
how you jam more card draw in here?
How?
1 Traverse the Uvenwald over the Myriad Landscape.
Yeah,
You can get Disciple of Freyles. It's OP.
that is pretty up. I don't know. I like Myriad Landscape. Maybe I should.
Blighted Woodland better?
Blighted Woodland gets 2 forests when you pay 4.
But Blighted
Yeah.
Woodland enters untapped, which is I think.
Yeah, that's the upside of
Yeah.
it. Is like it lets you play on curve a little bit better, and then
Yeah,
later you
there's
can sack
definitely
it.
an argument for that. I don't know. This has felt mostly okay, but I guess it could feel better. A lot of times I just have a random 2 extra mana to spend, and it's like, here you go.
Look how creased your sleeves are from just like fucking the way you handle them.
I know, it's
This
beautiful.
is crazy.
Well, this is like this is obviously the newest deck because not all of
corners
them
are still
have.
good.
Yeah,
The
this
corners
The
are
corner,
still good.
these cards are still
This
flat.
deck has not been. This deck was built recently and has not been played that heavily. So yes.
Can we get a zoom in on these corners here? By the way, this is not Dragon Shield corner like folding. This is 100% Alex slamming these
Yeah.
cards like a caveman on the table.
I'm a specialist in fucking up my sleeves.
All right, so how are we ranking these decks here?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
So we
This one's radical. This one's fairly cool. This one's green. So
I like Skanos like honestly kind of the most of these 3. I think Glysa is my number 2, and then Lysa here.
Yeah.
This is my power ranking from best to worst.
nah, this is just I don't. This deck doesn't excite me.
It's mono green dragons. That's
I've
so
seen
interesting.
So many snail decks that are so interesting. The fact that this one is just like Yahoo and nothing
Yeah.
else.
No, that's dope.
Literally, I think one of my thoughts when I was building this was I want to build like a basic bitch ass commander deck, and that's what I did. It's a dragon deck. I make a big guy, and then I do things with my big guy.
There's just something I really appreciate about that. This like weird like Timmy, but it's still like the most horrifically hipster thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like a 2-deck command zone on EDH deck.
All right, great.
All right, I'm gonna start with this deck that is pretty silly. So I am playing Vensor Corpse Puppet, and here's my Hollow Sentinel. So this deck is my fidget toy. It is an Unwinding Clock of Omens deck. Oh, I also added Elbrus.
Good.
Just, as a win con, question mark? This doesn't really have many win cons. Doesn't really do much. But it does fiddle around with artifacts. Of course.
Elbrus is a funny inclusion. You're like, oh, I got some bad artifacts from Dark Ascensions trying to.
Is that the Elbrus you opened?
This is the one I opened in my draft.
Yeah, I
and this is
figured.
the Chalice of Life I opened in my draft.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Trying to grab all my relevant cards. Here's my other win con, Dino DNA.
Every deck. I can't escape it. It's just
Solid card.
I called this card bad one time, and Khan's just been like putting it in every deck.
forever.
Oh yeah, and then
Can't be insulting your boy Dino DNA.
where's my salvaging
I've
station?
updated my
Is this
ranking
also
of
a
Dino
salvaging
DNA
station?
to okay.
Okay.
It is a okay
Oh.
card.
Here we go. Don Sire, that's the other.
Is that an honest update or trying to get Khan to stop talking about an update?
It's an honest update. I think Dino DNA. It's like the Grave Hate plus like if you can make 6 mana regularly.
The
you
fact
can
that
do
it
some funny
doesn't
stuff.
tap to use the ability is notable for some decks.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right. So this deck is a salvaging station deck. So it's got
course.
all the baubles and stuff that I normally have just for like control and like Aether Spellbomb and Executioner's Capsule as my like, removal engines. And then the other like main plan of the deck is to get Throne of Geth, my commander, some untappy things, ideally Unlining Clock and Clock of Omens, hopefully Tezzeret, and Retrofitter Foundry in play in some capacity. And this plus other random artifacts lets me constantly like make a servo with this, sack it, make the Hollow Sentinel, and then tap this to untap this to make more things, proliferating onto Tezzeret each time.
Yeah.
And then I'm untapping this to keep sacking the Hollow Sentinel to make more Hollow Sentinels.
Right.
To then also continually proliferate. And then the goal is to eventually put all of that proliferation on the Dawnsire to actually activate it. Which, yes, this is slower than just having a big creature and stationing it normally. And then once you've proliferated 20 times, you can give it lifelink with Vensor, and then you attack, and it deals 100 damage, and you gain 100 life. And then you can flip your Chalice of Life,
And then you finally get to start pinging people for 5.
and then you start pinging people for 5. And that's how the deck wins.
This is the most Trinket Mage deck I've ever seen in my
Okay.
entire life. I imagine you have Perplex to find this guy.
No, I don't.
Terrible. I love
No.
Perplex so much.
I'm playing-
Snail was the one who turned me on to Perplex.
Perplex is so good.
It is real. I have it in Cormela. Do you have Teleria West to find Astral Cornucopia?
No, I just have like regular tutors.
Oh, no, I run like weird ones. But Teleria West is super cool. You replace an island with it. It's a tapped blue land.
Yeah.
And then you can transmute to find your 0 mana charge rocks.
I'm not playing Astral Cornucopia.
No, really?
I don't have anything to do with the mana.
So
I
here-
have like just like regular tutor. I have Transmute and like War of Invention.
Okay, here comes the heat. The
Okay.
heat recommendation. So, if you add Astral Cornucopia and start doing like a little big mana stuff, you can run Myojin of Cryptic Dreams.
Woo!
And then what you do is you proliferate the
can
counter.
proliferate that shit.
You
Yeah.
proliferate the counter on it, and then what you do is you cast Throne of Geth and you copy it 4 times. The first one resolves, you tap and sack it, and then this is infinite proliferates with the Myojin. This is something I ran in Mono Blue Techathol, which is my proliferation deck. It's really jank and funny.
That is funny. What can I can't do anything with the infinite, so maybe that would work. Because I want to make sure I can't do anything with it.
Is this like a bracket 2 deck? Or bracket
This is bracket 2.
bracket 2. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this
Oh,
deck
yeah.
is like
Bracket 2
there's-
artifact fiddle. Let's go.
There's like the only infect is Vensor because he has Toxic Wood.
right.
So in theory, I could poison someone out.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the deck is just baubles for my salvaging station game plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. That's the whole deck basically.
That's funny.
This deck I love so much, and it sucks that it's a Trinket Mage deck, which means it's gonna be taken apart in like 2 months, like tops, for like something different.
For a different artifact
Because
pile.
this is, I think, my favorite deck you've ever built.
We'll see. I literally haven't played the deck yet. I'm here to test it out.
Okay.
So we'll see if it really struggles and I can't do anything. Then maybe it will get axed. But ideally, I gain 100 life and then attack someone with Elbrus, and then it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a diehard Throne of Geth fan, and this feels like Throne of Geth the deck.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. Oh man, I can't wait to just like activate this like 7 times in a turn just to make a 4/4.
Yeah.
And then have people go, "Is that it?" And it's like, "Yeah, I made a 4/4."
So what
Yeah.
happens when someone casts Stony Silence?
I have counter spells.
Okay.
I have a Meteor Golem.
You're in bracket.
Oh.
You're in bracket 2. Who the fuck runs Stony Silence?
Awesome people.
No.
I have Extinguisher Battleship.
Bracket 3. Like.
Stony Silence is funny. It makes me laugh.
It was actually one of my first Magic cards because I think it was in Innistrad,
Yeah, I love.
and I always looked at it and I was like, "What does this do?" I don't know.
everything. It does more than people give it credit
The
for.
answer, it does a lot, but it doesn't do a lot if you're playing against like your friend's werewolf deck in 60 card kitchen table Magic.
Does it stop artifact cards in hand like cycling?
I don't think so.
I believe no.
Okay.
It's just on field.
But yeah, that is my fidget toy.
Love
yeah,
it.
that one's sick.
Back in my Laughing Dragon branded box.
Alright.
Is this double sleeved?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this podcast brought to you by LDXP
There's
Tacoma.
expensive cards in here.
Yeah.
It's all double sleeve.
If you want to come to LDXP Tacoma, you can get yourself a time machine and then come back, and you can meet us recording this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Facts, like that one fan did.
That fan was a time traveler and didn't want to like break everything.
True.
So they didn't acknowledge that they were a time
I
traveler.
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
you gotta stay quiet when you're doing time travel.
So this is my Mina and Den list. Mina and Den gives me an extra land drop, and then you can bounce lands to give stuff trample. And I had played this deck for a long time. It's like my most blinged out deck because I spent so long working on it. And I changed it. So it's no longer a stompy deck. I am now a actual like lands deck
Oh.
with some fun, neat tech.
Yeah, I'm so mad I didn't bring Kira with me.
This is very similar to Kira.
Hey, I got a mono green dragon deck for you.
I'm now like an actual like land deck. I am playing all of these Seismic Assault and
Ayula's
Influence.
good.
Yep. And of course, I got Life from the Loam in here and Cycling Lands, which is like a big part of this deck.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you run Bobo?
Who?
Borborygmos Enraged?
Oh yeah.
There he is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Borborygmos, what's the name of the enchantment? Abundance, and like a curiosity effect is like one of my favorite things ever.
I'm not playing Abundance, but yeah, it is pretty sweet.
Abundance, do you run Cultivator Colossus?
No, that's the only card as much as this is like not a budget deck, like I haven't found a Cultivator Colossus
Yeah,
yet.
Cultivator Colossus Abundance is so broken because you just put every land in your deck into play.
Yeah.
I had to pick up my Taiga before I got a Cultivator Colossus in here, you know.
I got my Tiger for $30.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That was a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm playing Planar Bridge as my like top end instead of Eldrazi. So
Yeah.
because this used to be like you'd play Kozilek and Ivugan and just like loop Kozileks.
Right.
So instead I've slowed it down and got Planar Bridge instead as my like
It's fucking
top end.
beautiful printing, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
no, that looks
Masterpiece.
great.
I had the Masterpiece and Staring Bridge in this deck too. The other one.
Back when foils were good.
Back when foils were good. Yeah, we haven't seen something like this in a hot minute, not gonna lie. But yeah, and then I'm playing this because you recommended it
Yes,
on the
I
Paradise
podcast.
Lost?
love
Yeah.
Paradise Lost. That card's so broken.
And then of course I got my Monument to Endurance as well, which is like super sweet with the Life from the
Yes,
Loam
and
discarding
yeah.
package, and I'm just like cycling lands,
Well, yeah,
looping
those are on
Dark Depths.
demand too, so you can like get 12 per turn cycle, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a modern deck that I think Aspiring Spike tried out a little bit, where you can go Monument to Endurance, Seismic Assault, and then you just like just start lightning bolting them every turn, or no,
Yeah.
shocking them rather. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, you
That's
also
great.
lightning bolt them. It does 5 damage for each land that you discard. Well, you do one
Yeah,
on
to
your
one
turn,
person, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you do it on there,
For
and then you do it
sure.
on yours, and then you do it on theirs, and then they're dead.
And then the cycling lands are so sweet because Mina and Den lets me play them early game and I can pick them up if I
Yeah.
need to.
And I imagine you run MDFCs.
Yeah. Oh, of course I'm running MDFCs. Which is also so good.
Disciple
Mina and Den.
Freyleys with the Merit Lage.
Yep.
Do you run Berserk?
No, I should pick up a copy of Berserk.
Oh,
I don't know what to cut, but
You can also run the Edge of Eternity's guy. Landfall, double a creature's power and toughness until end of turn. That's
yeah.
one I run in Kira, and it's so good with Merit Lage.
And my commander gives trample as well, which is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing the Endstone as my other top end.
Yeah.
Because I play so many lands, I'm gonna draw like a billion cards. And then it's kind of like a pseudo combo deck. When you have enough lands, you just kind of like ditch them all to Seismic Assault, and then like Creeping Renaissance, get them all back, ditch them all again, flash it back, get them all back, do it
Yeah.
again. So that's kind of how the deck works. It's just like that, and then there's like the big top endy stuff here.
How many games have you gotten in with this so far?
0 with this version of the
Okay,
deck.
cool.
I
Alright.
haven't played with any of these yet.
Yeah, I'm curious what the mid-game play pattern of this looks like. Because I think obviously, like once you get all your like card draw up online,
Lotus Cobras, there's no mid game. You play like Lotus Cobras early, if I
Okay.
imagine right. And
I
then
don't
you-
play Lotus Cobra.
You don't play Lotus Cobras?
Doesn't put a land
so
into play?
Broken. Oh,
okay.
That's so heartbreaking. I love Lotus Cobras and
I'm
Nissas
curious
and
how much
everything.
ramp is in here. Like how fast?
So much ramp. There's
Okay.
49 lands,
Okay, good.
and then I think if you count all the lands and ramp, it's like 67 pieces.
6, 7.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, so like 18 ramp,
18 rampish, something like that.
49 lands. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And then
It's like-
obviously command zones ramp, so that
Command zones ramp
that's
as well. So
certainly fine.
Yeah, this deck has it's a lot of mana and card draw.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean the late game I can imagine is insane. You're just popping up all over the place with your enchantments that discard things and all of your recursion and shit.
That's the idea.
I'm just curious how fast it gets there. But I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Is this a bracket 4 deck or is this
This is bracket 3.
this is bracket 3? Okay,
My
cool.
goal is to build a bracket 3 green deck that ramps that I felt like is fair at bracket 3. Because I think the previous version of this, the looping of Kozilek, is way too strong for bracket 3.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Turbo Ramp is broken, so
Yeah.
this is toned down a little bit.
Play against my Rata deck, and you can see.
I am fastly getting to the point where I think Merit Lage might be too good for bracket 3.
We'll
if
see.
you run all the land recursion, asterisk, if you run all the land recursion stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I do. So.
Yeah, so I think Merit Lage is just too darn strong. I could talk about lands for hours, so let's move on.
Yeah.
I do want to maybe pick up a copy of Kura, the Boundless Sky, for this
love
list.
that card. So get Nylea's Intervention instead. If I could put Nylea's Intervention in the command zone over Kira, I would.
Okay.
That's X green, tutor for X lands.
Yeah, that's a good tutor.
Speaking of time travel,
All right.
I've cheated and put a Strixhaven card in the command zone.
Oh!
I built
Cool.
Lorehold the Historian specifically because you said it was a boring commander.
I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah.
is that?
I'm sorry, that's
Searing
immediately
Wind?
Searing Wind.
Searing Wind? What?
9 mana, deal 10 damage
Zooming in on that.
to any target.
But with my commander, it's 2 mana deal 10 damage to any target.
Nice.
That's a better rate than
Oh
Lightning
my
Bolt.
god.
Oh, I heard, yeah.
We got Brass's Bounty.
There's just a great card to cheat out because you have 2 lands in play, or you have like 5 lands in play, and then you get 5 treasure, I guess.
This is a late game deck. Trust me, it'll work. Trust.
Okay.
Storm Herd, another
Yeah,
thing.
of course.
Because this lets me loot on every upkeep.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
great
No,
Monument
that's
to Endurance
awesome.
deck.
Yeah. Isn't this card like $20 now? Because standard.
Yeah, it's a good card.
I remember when it was like $5. I bought like 2 of them because I just knew it was going to be like a broken card.
Yeah.
And then I have like things like Scroll Rack and Sensei's Divining Top to set up the top of my library. And then I'm playing, because I'm a control deck, I'm playing Mind's Eye.
Of course.
Awful. Just rotten, awful
It's
card.
so good. It's so good. This is heat. My finisher is Zatalpa Primal Dawn, of course.
Sick.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm playing Storm's Wrath because my commander's a 5/5, so it survives the 4 damage to everything.
Right.
Another sweet card to Miracle. Oh, Hero's Remembrance. It has suspend 10 for 1 white. You gain 20 life, or it's a 9-drop. But I can gain 20 life at instant speed with my commander if I Miracle it.
Nice. And then I can
Okay.
swap life totals with you.
Yeah. Of course, we had Null Chamber, one of my favorite
I
control
love
pieces.
that card.
That's really funny.
No, this is a card, Con, where you told me about it, and I immediately bought a copy of it. I don't have it in a deck yet, but I have one sitting on my desk.
It's so funny.
For those that don't know, you and target opponent each name any card other than a basic land. Those cards can't be played. So you team up with an opponent, and you can silence the other 2 commanders and Nevermore them, or you can Nevermore Cyclonic Rift, and then they name a different card that they're scared of.
Yeah.
And then you can work together. It's super cool.
All right, here's my top for top deck manipulation. Here's a Fissure. It's 5 mana destroy 5 mana murder in red, but it also can destroy lands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, with the commander, it's 2. Scour from Existence, great removal.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 2 mana. Volcanic Visions.
Yes, this is a card I used to run in Cormela, but I cut it.
It's a great card.
Yeah, and then since I'm looting a lot, I actually really like Glory as protection.
Very
Yeah.
solid, yeah, for sure.
What else am I playing? Just like Boros, Spellslinger control stuff like Overmaster. That's kind of it. That's like most of the deck. The rest of it is just like, some board wipes and like utility cards. Oh, Ox of Agonis is sweet to loot.
Yeah.
What's
Good.
like what's your win cons type thing? Because it seems like it's a control deck. A little
Well, you have
slower
like
thing.
Storm Herd.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
Storm
Yeah.
Herd.
Storm Herd's
It's much like Cormela, where it's just like kind of big mana cheating.
right.
I
Except,
can use a late to dinner on like Zatalpa to get him out kind of early
Oh,
because there's a
yeah.
lot of looting in the
you
deck.
loot, so it's like a
Right, you have just
it's like a weird mixture of Cormela and my Reanimator deck, where you can have like a little Reanimator package, but you also have big spells. That's really funny.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this plays.
Me too. It's probably going to be either really bad or it's going to be so awesome. I'm playing like Velomachus as well, just
Yeah.
as like value. Which this is another thing. Like
Velomachus is great.
you
yeah.
play Velomachus and then like you're like, oh, if he dies, you like late to dinner him, and then you can swing in. And he can like flip something.
Yeah.
I kind of want more of these effects, to be honest.
Yeah.
Recursion, yeah.
Sadly, you're left
White
with
White Recursion's a little limited.
yeah, you get like Resuscitation.
If you're okay with like stuff
Breath of
that,
Light.
yeah, stuff that died this turn coming back, there's options there. But for like just any card, any creature
No,
card.
there's a few that are like 4 mana like that.
Yeah,
there's
the
like
4
3 of
mana
them.
ones are good because I can hit them off of
Are
Velomachus,
they-
which is sweet.
are they like
there's
3 mana? Okay.
there's at least 2 others.
Yeah, Breath of Life is one. It's 2 white
Right.
reanimated creature, and there's
Yeah,
one called
yeah,
like
yeah.
resuscitation or something, or resurrection.
This is the best one because it makes a food token as well.
Yeah.
So
for
I
sure.
want to test it out, see how good this is in the deck, and maybe I'll add another effect.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that card was a common, by the way.
This card's so good.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
so good. That's basically the deck, and if I kill someone with Searing Winds, I will be so exceptionally happy.
Yeah, I think the fact that that was the first card we saw made me a little bit questioning of what's happening here, but because I just worry that there will be like too many specific tech cards that you're gonna pile up in hand. Although I guess the fact that Lorehold loots a whole bunch is good as long as Lorehold can stay in play. So what's your protection looking like?
Yeah, exactly. That's my main like thing that had me very questionable about like Lorehold as a card design is it feels so kill on sight.
Yeah.
Whereas like Cormela has like that built-in death trigger that
I
kind
have
of wards her.
Courageous Resolve. I have Glory, like you saw.
Yeah.
Um,
Floor's great. Yeah.
And your goal, by the way, is not play Velamachus, not Velamachus, sorry. It is Velamachus Lorehold, but this one is just Lorehold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your goal is to play him not on turn 5.
This is gonna be. This is a turn 10 play.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm aiming for the game to go to turn 15.
Cool. Yeah.
So ideally, some amount of removal has already been like had,
Yeah.
and then I have a Lapse of Certainty as protection.
Lapse of certainty is very
How many board wipes do you need to like reset things mid game?
I think there's like 4 maybe.
Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
You got something from the Ramparts.
I have Scout's Warning to give my commander flash,
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
super cool.
No, that's great
um,
actually.
and then
You have the awesome avatar printing that everyone loves.
that's what I had.
Oh, I'm so mad I didn't bring my binder. I think I have like the normal printing in my binder.
Oh, really? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. There's not that much actual like protection for it. Oh, I can give it Indestructible Final Showdown.
Yeah, Final Showdown's so busted.
Ideally, I'm playing this at like a point in the game where like removal has been spent, so I don't really need too much protection for it. It's like an ultra late game play.
Yeah. I feel like my thinking with this sort of deck would always be like run the cards that exile until end of turn, and then run it alongside like some board wipes, run it alongside some ETBs, just try and like make that type of card your best protection. But I'm curious to see if this theory of protection ends up working out. I worry a little bit about the boy here. You know, how you gonna cast all your 10 mana stuff?
My question is if he's a 10 mana play, why don't you just cast Stormherd?
Because he's such a powerful engine.
I guess so, yeah. He like
yeah,
loots
the
every
looting
turn.
is sweet. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is like a if you untap with him card, I can control the game in such a way that I'll probably win.
Okay, now
Okay.
here's a question. It's each opponent's upkeep you loot. What if an opponent dies before you get your commander out because you're casting it on like turn 10 or whatever?
Oh,
Then your looting has been reduced by like 25%. That's
You
crazy.
should run like Everyone Lives and like group hug cards to keep everyone alive as long as possible.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know, again, I haven't played literally any of the decks I've talked about yet, so maybe that's something that I'll add. Well, we'll see. This deck is still in the brewing stages.
A prison
yeah.
deck where you like gift away like what's the Platinum Angel to all of your opponents, so the
they
game can't
lose,
end.
and then
Yeah.
I can loot more.
Perfect. We need to rank these real quick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
true,
need to
true,
rank
true.
mine. Oh yeah.
So yeah, ranking them. Yeah, Snail, you go first. What's your ranking of cons decks?
This has got to be number one. I love I love proliferate artifact piles. If you can possibly imagine that. So I'm excited to see this commander is really cool. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out. I'm really interested in seeing how Lorehold does. So I'm going to put that as my number 2 here. This deck I don't hate, but I feel like it's a little more treaded territory than maybe these other two. So I'm going to put that as my number 3.
Okay, for me, I wish I could go like this, like tie and then third. But
You can.
I think for right now, though, it's like this. Where it's
Yeah.
like, I like Vensor the most. I am a sucker for lands, like so bad. I love lands. And then I'm very questioning of Lorehold. I think maybe he's just going to be like a little too slow.
I am fascinated to see how this deck plays out. I'm ready to win.
I'm happy to be proven wrong and die to Searing Winds knowing my goddamn luck here, but I don't
yeah.
believe in Lorehold, but we'll see. The card's obviously very powerful.
We'll
I just
see,
think it's
we'll
going to
see.
draw so much ire because it's scary.
Yeah. Well, should we go play a game of Commander, guys?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.